Well, good evening once again, and welcome inside the Cerow Rec Park for the second night in a row as the Thousand Island Raiders will host the Buffalo Tempest. Thanks for tuning in here on the Raiders YouTube channel. Connor Lalone is my name, and Cody Wheeler's on the camera to my right as we get set for another night of hockey here in the APHL. These two teams did battle last night, and it was an entertaining one. Defense optional. 8-6 was the final as Buffalo was able to come out on top after the Raiders had jumped out 3-0 in the first period, but a big second period for Buffalo. And a hat trick for the Tempest as well from Michael Houlihan was really the difference yesterday evening. Underway here, and it's the Tempest who control off the start. A couple of new additions into the lineups for both of these teams tonight. Names you're going to hear throughout the evening. Trudeau's able to send that one out into center ice, and Wilkins will dump it right back in. Goaltender tonight for the Raiders is Graham Gemmell after Robert Fountain had a long evening yesterday. Made a number of saves, but conceded 8. Gemmell gives Fountain a rest. He's out there to settle the puck down behind the net. And the Raiders will skate out from their own defensive zone. Nifty work in the neutral zone. Now down the left wing. Centering pass was tipped, but that ends up wide of the net. Endy tried to center it. That went off a skate. And Downey the opposite direction. Downey gets the wrong side of his defender, fires one on, and that's gloved aside by Gemmell. Puck into the corner, and now Raiders trying to come up the near wing. Moses Ventura will backhand that one back into the neutral zone, and Raiders will reset with Colton Oaks Cook. He takes a shove from Downey, able to send it down deep in behind the net. And skating in is Cook Avery to retrieve there, but he's muscled off the puck. Keisher, who had a goal to equalize, long stretch pass for Downey, who's wide open, and Downey rips it into the top shelf to open the scoring. Buffalo out in front 1-0, and it's a terrific long stretch pass to find Downey. Garrett Downey on the score sheet first tonight with 8:14 to go in the first period. The Tempest with a 1-0 lead. Oaks Cook sends it out back into the neutral zone. Now up along the near boards, Ventura will settle it down. He banks it off the boards to Downey on the near side. Downey lost the puck to Roberts. It's all the way deep and reeled in behind the net by Horner. Horner will ring it around the boards. Well, tried to. It was knocked down by Tatu, and he is unable to clear out of the neutral zone. Raiders do that themselves. Adam Roberts on the near side pinching in, and he's going to skate in, dumps a backhand pass across ice. Really nicely done to find Keenan Hearn. McClellan. Blaine McClellan into the game after not featuring last night. Roberts in the neutral zone. Raiders just passing around. That's an errant one, and it's picked up, fired in, and blockered away. A couple early saves for Gemmell after he was beaten up over the glove side. Now we've got a whistle and a penalty coming up. It's an interference. I didn't see anything as the play was developing, but it's a interference call against the Raiders, and a Buffalo power play that was quite effective last evening. Their first look at it with the extra skater tonight. That one's won back by Trudeau on the face-off, and Raiders able to clear the zone just.
2 minutes for interference. 26 for Raiders.
Melanson Got the announcements. Blaine McClellan, who picked up the interference call. Trudeau's going to win that one in the neutral zone after it was broken up by Endy and then launched all the way down the ice by Roberts. Downey had Endy on his back. Trudeau chasing now in on the forecheck. Trudeau couldn't take it away from Downey. Garrett Downey, the goal scorer, up the left wing. Minute 18 to go on the power play for Buffalo here with a 1-0 lead in the first period. Keicher gets it right back at the blue line. Steps in, great feed down low for Stewart. Puck came right back out in front off the backboards, and Raiders there to dump it all the way down the ice where it's reeled in by Gianni Dalton, who had a pretty busy evening himself last night, but back in between the pipes for Buffalo here tonight. 50 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Another quick shot that's turned aside by Gemmel off the left pad and out. And all the way down the ice. Again cleared by the Raiders. Perez nearly had the puck taken away in behind the net. Now up along the near boards, Sean Stewart. Look across for Perez. Wilkins now through the neutral zone and up the right wing. Had it poked off his stick by St. Anne Spinner. That shot from the long way out, missed high. And it comes out to the near boards. Good fight for it there, but unable to win the puck was Rice. And Rice able to collect it as it worked itself loose and dump it all the way down the ice. And the Raiders have killed off the first penalty of the evening. Matt Morgia went to retreat. That one was knocked down by Wilkins. McClellan pretty much fresh out of the penalty box, in on the forecheck now. Takes his man to the boards. Slapped up the near side. And Kehoe, who got in a tussle last night, sends it up the left wing. Centering pass. Never made its way through to the net. Couple of men there in the way. Spinner, I think, with a block. And then launched clear again. Wilkins will settle it down. Trudeau comes away with a loose puck in the neutral zone, but gives it, well, nearly gave it right back to Perez. Able to slap it back into the defensive zone, and the Raiders will control from there. Through the neutral zone now, and down the left wing, that's Ezekiel Endy. Comes all the way around behind the net. This centering pass broken up by Perez, and now a foot race. A couple of guys racing back for the Raiders to try to get there, and they will win that battle. Trudeau tips it in. And a couple of guys going for a change there, but Downey picks up the loose puck and skates right in, had it sticked away as it works itself into the corner. Back out to the point, shot from there, no tip. And right into the glove of Graham Gemmel. Stop and play with 13:35 to go in the first period. It's a 1-0 lead for the visiting Tempest as Garrett Downey opens the scoring. Pretty nifty wrist shot up over the glove side of the Raiders netminder. Puck back out to the point, and a long blast again from there. Steered aside into the corner. Oaks Cook couldn't work the puck around the backboards. Downey sends one wide. Tempest keep it in with Keicher, and he dumps it all the way in behind the net. Cameron Whipple there. He sends it back around to the far side. Held in at the point by Downey. Downey sends that one off the backboards behind the net. St. Anne Spinner there. And Oaks Cook swings it all the way back around to the far boards for Hearn. Keenan Hearn off the skate, stays in the zone. And now Hearn will pick it up. Skating through the neutral zone now, has numbers here. Drops it to the blue line. And then lost the handle. Gavin Cook Avery trying to tightrope that blue line and unable to control the puck. Cook Avery had to hustle to get back on side to receive that puck and then send it back into his own defensive zone. Here he is again. Oaks Cook. Cross ice pass. Now down the right wing. Cook Avery going to let a shot go. That's blocked. And then pinching in Hearn. Keenan Hearn centering pass went right through the blue ice. Nobody there in a black sweater. Good stick and a takeaway in the defensive zone for Sean Stewart. Stewart gives chase. The Raiders able to control. Looking early and often the long stretch passes here. That one easily turned aside by Johnny Dalton as he's able to kick it to the far boards. But Adam Roberts pinch again, going to keep the puck in the zone. Roberts right in the slot. Great drop pass. And that one hit a body in front. Collected by Stewart, but again, held in the zone. Horner with a quick shot, and it's into the glove of Gianni Dalton. And stop and play with 11:39 to go in the first period. Decent response from the Raiders after they fell behind 1-0, but haven't gotten the same quantity or quality of shots, really, that they did in the first period last night when they got out to a 3-0 lead against Gianni Dalton and the Tempest. And significantly less busy here to start the evening. Whiff on the shot at the point, and now a chance with numbers. Flynn and Perez on a 2-on-1. Flynn missed the net. Had a really good look at it, but ended up trying to go a little too fine on the blocker's side. McClellan throws one off the right pad. Held in again at the point by the Raiders, but given right back. And Flynn tried to go between the legs to Perez. Now he finds him in the slot. Perez shot blocked. In the way was Fanner. And this one sneaks out of the zone. Wilkins will collect it and retreat into the Buffalo defensive zone. Throws it across the near boards to Kehoe, but read by O'Mara, given right back. Kehoe through the neutral zone against St. Anne Spinner. Throws one right into the chest of Graham Gemmel. And another stop with 10:47 to go in period number 1. Good tempo here early. Both teams skating pretty well after just playing 60 minutes of really exciting hockey last night. Not showing any signs of fatigue just yet. Ezekiel Endy, Zeke to Trudeau, who plays it off his skate. Trudeau, and he's robbed by Gianni Dalton. Trudeau had 2 goals last night, and another grade A scoring chance for him there as he was able to skate right in on Dalton. Threw the leather at it and made a fine save. Keeps Thousand Islands off the board for the time being. Trudeau couldn't handle that centering pass, but he's going to pick it up and send it right back towards the front of the net. Keicher will reel it in on the far boards. And now he's surveying. Long stretch pass off the boards. Icing's going to be waved off. Oh, they called it. Melanson went all the way down. Clearly won that foot race, but the whistle went. And this one, I think, is just going to come back to center ice. The officials acknowledging that that whistle shouldn't have gone, as Melanson very clearly going to win that foot race. Oaks Cook pleading the case for the face-off to be moved into the defensive zone. And they're going to win that argument, which is, that's pretty surprising to me. I mean, the icing was called, so if you're going to stick with that call, this is where the face-off should be, but that was clearly not the correct call in that situation. Should not have been an icing, as Melanson was going to win that foot race down the ice. Buffalo wins the draw, and Downey, oh, terrific move, got onto the backhand and had Gemmel out of position but couldn't finish. And here come the Raiders the other way. That one ripped high by Keenan Hearn, and then he takes a spill into the far boards. Puck held in. Hearn centers it for no one, and Melanson will touch up, but it's going to be a penalty. I wonder if this is on the hit on Hearn on the far side. Tripping is the call. Well, Hearn took a tumble into the far boards, but tripping might have been along this near side. Now a look at the Raider power play. Matt Olagokinski, who picks up the 2-minute minor. Raiders lost that faceoff, but into the offensive zone, and Oaks Cook in just a stride too early. He's offside. Face-off into the neutral zone now after Raiders offside. 9:26 to go in the first period. 1:42 remaining in the penalty. Face-off one back to Roberts, who sends it across ice for St. Anne Spinner. Spins around, and he leaves for Roberts. Adam across center ice. Down the left wing. Looking, spinning, Roberts back to the point. St. Anne Spinner down low. Endy, the one-time pass across to the far wing where Cook Avery was there to receive it. Roberts. Endy back to Roberts at the point. St. Anne Spinner had to reach the control, throws one on net, and it's right into the chest of Dalton. 1:05 remaining on the power play. Cook Avery lost the faceoff. It goes back into the corner. Colton Oaks Cook pinching along the boards, able to take the puck away. Cook Avery centered it right to Stewart, who comes the opposite direction. Stewart on the shorthanded try. Sends one on. It's blocked by St. Anne Spinner. Roberts controls. Huge hit in the open ice on Cook Avery. Oaks Cook circles around. Long stretch pass up ahead for Rice. Went off of his stick and into the corner. He bodies off Tatu, and Oaks Cook will swing it around the backboard. St. Anne Spinner will collect with 20 seconds remaining on the power play. O'Mara off the bench to join the extra attacker. Spinner all the way around. Oaks Cook now at the point. Spinner trying to get out of the way for him. Rice, as that one was deflected wide. Back to Oaks Cook. Quick snap. Touch pass back to Rice. Centering pass for Roberts. He had his stick lifted. And that one's going to sneak out of the zone. And look out as Keicher in on a breakaway out of the penalty box. And Keicher sneaks it past Graham Gemmel. And not only do the Raiders fail to score on the power play, they give one up as the penalty expires. Nobody picked up the breaking man, Keicher, who was in all alone. Put the moves on Gemmel. Got him to commit early. Cut it back onto the forehand and poked it home. 2-0 now, the early lead for Buffalo. 7:32 to go in the first period. Face-off one back by Downey. Slapped ahead by Howlett. And then backhanded out of the zone by O'Mara. Stretch pass up ahead to the near side. O'Mara centering passes on his tape. 1 and 2. The efforts from O'Mara, but both of them saved by Dalton. Downey able to poke it out of the zone, and Horner retreats, sends it right back in along the boards, but Rice has got to get onside. Now he does. McClellan forced Steele Colvin into a pass. And jumping up, throwing one in were the Raiders, easily turned aside by Dalton. 6:35 to go as this one comes up along the near boards. It's going to roll right in on Gemmel, and he's going to throw the glove on it to stop things with 6:28 to go in the period. Kiffner into the dot for the Tempest. One back, though, by the Raiders. Oh, into the skates of the referee. And controlled on the near board. Sent in deep. Kiffner bodied off the puck. Comes all the way around and out of the zone. Stewart retreats. Has Ventura for company, taken to the boards by a couple of guys. Trayer in there with a body check, and then another on Ventura. Pinching in, but unable to keep the puck in the zone was Fanner, and here come the Tempest the other way with Kiffner. Drop pass for Sean Stewart. Stewart shot on. Steered aside. And pinching in, keeping the puck on the far boards was Tatu. Then he got bodied. And that's going to be a penalty for interference. Another look for Buffalo with the extra skater as you see Paul Tatu there poking and keep the puck in the zone and then get hit away from the puck. So interference to call with 5:42 to go in the first. Buffalo already with a 2-goal lead. And now with the extra skater again, Downey at the point. Comes out to the near wing for Stewart. Stewart, long cross ice pass. They play catch on the far sideline. Another pass right on, shot right on, and Kiffner tried for the tip in front. Couldn't make any contact with it, and it's into the glove of Gemmel. Face off one back, Howlett tipped off of the stick of Endy, and the one-timer from Stewart somehow stayed out of the net. Looked like Gemmel was beaten. Melanson now on the far boards. Sends it back out to the point. Brisley sends it in deep to Melanson. Melanson, they go down low. Into the bumper. Oh, off the skate of Roberts, who kicked it out. And a chance for the Raiders to clear. Endy down the right wing, just missed on the shorthanded try. Now Melanson had it taken away, though, by Adam Roberts, and Roberts sends it back. Stretch pass right up the middle. That's going to go on Dalton, who covers up as Endy was able to flash in and force him to stop play. 4:34 to go in the period. 52 seconds remaining in the interference call on James Young. Rice in the face-off dot, won it to the side, but controlled there by Wilkins. Rice able to win it right back from Wilkins and then turned it over again. Buffalo up the near wing with Stewart. Sean Stewart, and he's bodied away. Puck sent all the way down the ice. Dalton out of his net, whiffed on the pass attempt, as Perez had to avoid collision with the referee here. That's a long stretch pass. That should be an icing, and it will be. Miscue for Buffalo there with the extra skater. 13 seconds remaining in their power play, and they ice the puck. Face off one back. St. Anne Spinner throws it on, but it was blocked by Perez. One right back by Endy, and he tried to center it, and that was broken up. And here comes Wilkins the other way. Wilkins, 2-on-2. Skates out to the left side, but forced into the corner. Another long outlet pass. This time it will be no icing as Trudeau is able to get down there first. Endy to Trudeau, below the goal line. Out into the center. Never really had a good look, Matt Morja, and he just dumps it into the corner and gave chase from there. Sent up along the near boards. Wilkins picked it up there, and he's out to the far wing. Horner in behind the net, picks up the loose puck. Looking up ice, throws it out to the near side. Morgia dumped it in deep. Horner got a good look, but it came off the stick of Stewart and was prevented from heading goalward. Dalton was in no danger. Kiffner gives chase in behind, but the puck settled down by Landon Much. Shot from the point, kind of knuckled. Able to kick it aside was Gemmel. 2:15 to go in the period. Cook Avery up the right wing, throws one on, came off the chest of Dalton. Tempest able to clear. Melanson looked like he wanted to go with Horner. Horner did not seem interested. Good physical play along the near boards, and Horner threw one on. It was deflected off of Dalton. The second effort was turned aside as well, but controlled by Buffalo and touched up as they're going to get called for a roughing penalty, and I think it was Melanson along this near board. Like I said, him and Horner, Gabe Horner, in the neutral zone were going at it, and Melanson wanted to go. Horner didn't seem inclined to drop the gloves, and Melanson continued that altercation along the near boards and ended up picking up a roughing for his effort. So a minute 56 on the Melanson roughing penalty. Only a minute 35 now to go in the period. Shot on, saved, and sent out of the zone by Wilkins. St. Anne Spinner will drop it off and up the near wing. Centering across for Cook Avery was Oaks Cook. Cook Avery to Oaks Cook. All the way across ice to Endy. His one-time pass back into the corner. Cook Avery shot that hit a body and never made it on target. Roberts was the big man in front trying to come up with a deflection. Spinner wants it right back, gets it back. Has Endy on the near side, going to throw in a net. It hit a body, might have came off the skate of Roberts and into the corner. 46 seconds to go in the period. Oaks Cook behind his own net. Now Endy, shot blocked by Brisley and works out of the zone. St. Anne Spinner harassed by Brisley, and really solid work from St. Anne Spinner to control that puck. Looking up ahead and unable to control the pass. Oaks Cook. Rice off of his skate. Settled down and sent in deep with just 12 seconds to go now. Oaks Cook on the right wing to the center. Rice couldn't put a stick on it and went all the way through and out of the zone with 4 seconds. One last rush for Downey here at the end of the period. He goes in and Downey scores. Right at the end of the period. Downey's going to add his second as he was able to go the length of the ice. Picked up the puck inside his own defensive zone, went all the way down and able to cut it back onto the forehand, lift it up over the glove of Graham Gemmel and make it a 3-0 game. So 3-0, the score. Buffalo with the lead at the end of the first period, adding one more right there at the very end. Garrett Downey, second of the first. And the Raiders find themselves in an early hole, down by 3 goals. Well, again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Raiders hockey here on the Raiders YouTube channel. My name's Connor Lalone and Cody Wheeler on the camera for us. We're going to take a break here for the first intermission and return for the second. We'll see you then. Welcome back inside the rink, the Cerow Rec Park, home of the Thousand Island Raiders. It's the visiting Buffalo Tempest with a 3-0 lead as we get set for the second period here on the Raiders YouTube channel. Connor Lalone alongside Cody Wheeler on the camera up here on the walkway leading up to the press box inside the rec center. Like I said, it's ready for the start of the second period. Buffalo scored right at the end of the first. And despite the fact that they scored and the goal counted, there was no face-off afterwards. Been assured that the goal did in fact count. And the score is 3-0 as we start the second period here in Clayton. Early action for Graham Gemmel, and he's going to throw the glove on it and cover it up with about 30 seconds gone in the second period. Face-off one back, but skips over the stick of Moses Ventura. And St. Anne Spinner comes around behind his own net. Throws it up the near boards to Rice. His long stretch pass is going to miss everybody, but it's going to go on net. Dalton covers it up and then throws it out. Raiders wanted a whistle, but nobody really there pressuring in a black sweater. Gemmel forced into a couple of good saves there. He had to make the first, and the puck bounced out right in front of him. And then had to make another save in quick succession there as the puck was fired right back on. This one, I believe, jumped up into the bench area. So face off out to center ice. 18:52 to go in the second period. Trudeau on the face-off back, and Horner will control. He goes out to the right wing for Zeke Endy. Endy to Trudeau, skating through the slot. Trudeau's shot turned aside by Dalton, who's able to get the stick down and cover up the 5-hole. That one, dangerous pass, but it sneaks out of the zone. Across to pick it up is Matt Morja. Drop back for Adam Roberts. Horner now. Cross ice into the skates of Endy. Endy into the zone. Got around Downey. Morja up to the point. Horner shot. Hit a couple of sticks on the way through. Centering pass was deflected from Endy, and that ended up behind the net. Brisley goes cross ice to clear the zone. Trudeau takes a slap at it. Roberts will pinch in and win the puck. Roberts kept it in the zone but didn't realize it, and it's thrown up ahead. Dumped into the zone by Melanson. Horner will retreat into the corner to pick it up there. Throws on the brakes to get around Melanson, and now looks up ice. Gabe Horner gets across the red line, dumps the puck in, and the Raiders will go for a change. Oaks Cook pinching in. Kept the puck in the zone. Cook Avery couldn't. It was slapped clear. Now Horner again gains the red line, throws one in. Off the glove of Gianni Dalton. Settled down. Good touch pass through center, and then a long stretch out to the near side. Perez up the right wing. His centering pass broken up by Horner. Came right back to him. Kehoe tried to throw it in front, and that was broken up as well. Oaks Cook got to it. Cook Avery, rather. Quick shot. The puck's loose still. That came off the stick of Hearn. Thrown all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing call as Hearn had a good crack at it, but a save made by Gianni Dalton before the Tempest iced the puck. 16:49 to go in the second period. Raiders trailing 3-0. Garrett Downey with a couple of goals in the first period. One right towards the beginning and one right at the very end. Shot from the point was kicked aside by Dalton. Held in, though, at the blue line. Cook Avery trying to keep that one alive and got it down deep to Oaks Cook. Out to the point, but sent right back on and blocked. Puck dumped into the Raiders' end. Flynn pinching in, but stepping up to take it away was Fanner. Now Fanner up the right wing. Throws one on, it's blocked away, kicked to the side by Dalton. St. Anne Spinner collects at his own blue line, and he turns around and recycles. Dylan St. Anne Spinner into the neutral zone, gains the red line and dumps it in. And again, Raiders will go for a change. That one's hit long and nobody there. In a gray sweater to pick the puck up, as Buffalo will ice it with 15:45 to go in the second frame. Addison Oaks Cook into the faceoff dot. St. Anne Spinner will collect that errant shot. Goes down low, redirect in front off the, again, the right pad of Dalton. And again, Buffalo sends the puck the length of the ice. That one came off the backboards and settled down by Graham Gemmel. Long stretch pass, a tough one to handle out of the shins of James Young. Now the opposite way, Traer. He was muscled off the puck, but held in at the point and dumped in deep by Addison Oaks Cook. Good battle along the backboards. Stewart's going to come up with the puck on the far side, and now a whistle as a couple of guys tangled up in behind the Buffalo net. Wilkins looked like he was going to start throwing punches, but Traer was down on the ice. And see what the fallout is from that scuffle. Looked like it's going to be 2 apiece for roughing. So it should be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. 14:54 to go in the second period. Faceoff will come out into the neutral zone. Waiting for some time up on the board. Now they've got it. 2 minutes aside.
Kyle Wilkins, 2 minutes for roughing.
Face-off won by McClellan. Down the left wing, Much throws one across, and that's going to skip all the way out of the zone. St. Anne Spinner will retreat and pick it up. Now he'll come out from behind his own net. St. Anne Spinner out to Much up the right wing. Out there with McClellan and O'Mara. Much goes in behind. Collision along the far boards. And now a long outlet pass. That Gemmel's going to have to come settle down. He's under pressure from Stewart, but he gets it out to O'Mara on the far boards. And O'Mara right out in front of his own net as he skates forward through center ice now with some speed. O'Mara down the left wing now. Stops and lets one go, and O'Mara rips it in off the iron. Well, O'Mara picked this one up in his own defensive zone, and really kind of similar to the third goal of the first period we saw from Garrett Downey as O'Mara went coast to coast and skated in, got the puck back onto his favorite forehand and able to beat the Buffalo goaltender on the glove side. And it is now a 3-1 game. And look out, here comes Cook Avery. Never got a shot away as he was tangled up. Now Cook Avery slashing for the puck. It's held in though at the point. Oaks Cook couldn't keep it in this time, and Downey sends it back through the center of the ice. Brisley wanted the hooking call, won't get it. Puck's held in at the blue line, dumped in deep. Downey will tip it in behind the goal. Brisley lays the body. Here comes Cook Avery the other way. Tried to find Oaks Cook, but that was broken up by Theo Colvin. Downey steps in and rifles a big slap shot that misses high, well high up above the goal of Graham Gemmel off the glass. And back the other direction is Oaks Cook. He gains the red line again and just throws it in deep, as the Raiders will give chase. Couple changes for him. Roberts has it here on the near side. 6 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Adam Roberts across the blue line. Tries to go into the corner for Oaks Cook, who will settle it down there. Colton Oaks Cook out to the point. Horner with a blast that misses everything, and Stewart will control on the far side, able to just chip it out of the zone. And the Raiders will recycle. Gabe Horner across the red line now into the offensive zone. Puck deflected into the corner. He centers it. Nobody there in a black sweater, but able to keep it in the zone. Pinching in was Matt Morja. Horner and Morja couldn't keep the puck in the zone. Player went down for Buffalo, wanted a call. There won't be one. Quick shot from Morja, missed high on the blocker side. Puck held in at the line. Now it escapes into the neutral zone. Roberts retreating, trying to win the puck back. That's Sean Stewart along the near boards. Throws one out in front. Gemmel couldn't control it. The rebound ended up just wide. Oaks Cook. Kiffner. Kiffner comes away with the puck. He throws it out in front again. Stewart wanted a penalty, and it will not come. Morja into the offensive zone. Drops for Oaks Cook. Back to Morja. Matt Morja, and now there's going to be a call as Morja goes down in a heap and ends up taking out Gianni Dalton, the goaltender, on the way through. Well, 2 or 3 times in that last play, sequence of plays, Buffalo wanted a penalty for a hook or a trip and didn't get it. And this time, at the other end of the ice, they call one against Buffalo as Morja drives right to the net and gets a stick across the ankles. He goes down, takes out the goaltender, but draws the penalty. And the Raiders will go to the power play with 11:33 to go in the second period. They've got it back to within 2. 3-1 the score. The referee talking to both teams down here. It's Wilkins and Roberts who are involved in the discussion. Still waiting for 2 to be put up on the board. Looks like Buffalo obviously going to be shorthanded here for tripping. Right now they've only got 3 out there. It's going to be the trip initially and then another 2. So 5-on-3 for 2 whole minutes here for the Raiders, and a chance to really take advantage. Quick shot on, and that one never made it to the net. Missed on the glove side. St. Anne Spinner. 5-on-3 here for the Raiders. St. Anne Spinner throws one towards the net. Save initially by Dalton. It came out of his glove and out behind the net. Rice will pick up the loose puck. Rice to St. Anne Spinner. Back to Rice on the far side. St. Anne Spinner throws one on again, and it had eyes for the goal. Through some traffic, Dylan St. Anne Spinner from the blue line, and it's 3-2. A seeing eye shot right from the blue line. St. Anne Spinner threw it in front, and I'm not sure anybody got a touch on it, but enough bodies in front to throw off Gianni Dalton and prevent him from making the save. And it's 3-2 now. And the Raiders will remain on the power play for 1 minute and 25 seconds. 5-on-4 now. Horner to Oaks Cook. Out to the far wing. Announcement here in the arena, St. Anne Spinner, unassisted. Centering pass, broken up. But controlled along the near boards. Goes in deep. Unable to handle the pass was Endy, and then it skips out past the stick of Horner. He sends it back across the ice. Colton Oaks Cook into the zone all by himself. Now throws on the brakes. Has O'Mara at the point. Goes to him. O'Mara to Horner. Shot. Hit his own man off the skate or ankle of Keenan Hearn. Stays in the zone, though, along the near boards. Shoveled in deep by Horner. And able to control the puck. In behind his own net was Wilkins. Throws it out towards center ice. Now a foot race, and Stewart couldn't quite get there in front of Oaks Cook, who did well to retreat into his own zone and win that puck. O'Mara out to the far side. Penalty is over. Back to all even. Shot off the blocker. Hearn threw it on, and Dalton made the save. Down into the TIN. O'Mara retreats. Has it on his stick now. O'Mara through center. Up along the right wing. Oaks Cook. Centering pass comes out to the near side, and a big blast turned away. Dalton with the save, and then the second shot off his stick and up and out of play with 9:01 to go in the second period. Couple of goals for the Raiders, though, have cut the lead to 1. Trudeau into the face-off dot. He wins it back, but Endy lost the puck, and Buffalo able to skate the other way. Downey. Puck tangled up, but Downey able to send it right back out in front. Now up along the near board. Shot is tipped. And in on Gemmel, who throws the glove on it, elects to just hold on, as that one came off the stick of his own defenseman and into his glove. Downey will skate in to the face-off dot. He wins it, but Trudeau able to shovel it back. Kept in at the point and then skips out off the stick of Melanson. Backhands across the ice to Ventura. Ventura broken up at center by Endy. Endy couldn't connect with Morja. And Downey retreats into his own end. Turned it over, though, right to Trudeau. Trudeau to Morja. Morja with a backhand. The puck is still loose on the ice. And Morja, he put it off over the net. And then another on the second chance. Off a stick and up and into the roof. And now Ventura and Fanner involved. And a little discussion. What a golden opportunity that was for the Raiders. Puck sat up nicely a couple of times. Morja had a terrific look at it, and he just lifted the puck high and over the net. Fanner now is going to come sit down I believe, that altercation with Ventura after the fact. All sorts of confusion here with 8:15 to go in the second period. The Tempest are not being allowed to change here. Referee skated over and told Ventura to Wilkins to stay out on the ice. They had to go back. And now they'll move the face-off into the neutral zone. Looks like Fanner picked up 2 minutes, obviously. Ventura stayed out there, even though he was the one that Fanner's tied up with. But there is another 2 on the board against Buffalo, so they're going to skate 4-on-4 here. So Jesse Keicher with the minor. We said 4-on-4 now for the next minute 30. Hand pass here on the near side. Face-off will come into the neutral zone. Right out to center ice after the hand pass by Buffalo. 7:45 to go in the period. Face-off one back by Cook Avery. Cook Avery had to jump over his stick. He gives chase and able to win the puck in the corner. Cook Avery, nifty move to work it free, then throws it up to the point. Much skates along, sends one in, and it's past the goaltender. Dalton, Much from the point twice now. The Raiders have been able to beat the Buffalo netminder from a long way out. Landon Much picked this one up off a terrific feed from Cook Avery. Did a nice job to work that puck free. And you see Much just come along the blue line, throws one on goal, and I don't think Johnny Dalton ever saw the puck. And a couple of seeing eye shots from the blue line have tied this game up 3-3. To the near side, dumped in right on goal by Wilkins, and Gemmell throws the glove on it. A little bit of open ice might have benefited the Raiders there, skating 4-on-4 still for a whole minute. And they've evened things up at 3 goals apiece here, just over halfway gone in the second period. McClellan wins the face-off back, and Horner retreats into the corner. He throws it up the near boards for O'Mara. O'Mara to McClellan. Finn on his hip, but able to throw one on the pads of Dalton and steered it into the corner. O'Mara now. Great move. O'Mara in the slot, just missed on the near side. Roberts pinches in, keeps the puck in the offensive zone. High, though, lifted out of play. That might be delay of game. Oh, they're going to say it was tipped. So no penalty for delay of game. Puck was deflected up into the netting. Offensive zone draw, one by McClellan. Still 4-on-4 as Roberts sends it across. O'Mara had it taken away from him, and then O'Mara's going to get called for interference as he stepped across and blocked the path of Sean Stewart, who was skating in. O'Mara at the point had his pocket picked, and one of those penalties you kind of have to take. Prevent a breakaway for Stewart. Hope that your team can get it done on the penalty kill. So 4-on-3 for 23 seconds, and then it'll go back to 5-on-4. Face-off controlled by the Tempest. Stewart at the point. Stewart looking across, has Melanson, goes to Downey, lets a slapper go right into the chest, though, of Gemmel, who makes the save and holds on with 6:25 to go. 10 seconds remaining in the 4-on-3. Raiders have matched a Buffalo 3-0 first period with a 3-0 second period of their own to tie things up here with 6:25 to go. And a face-off one to the near side and dumped in deep by Gabe Horner. First two penalties are over. We're back to 5-on-4 for the next minute 33 or less if Buffalo can manage to sneak one past Graham Gemmel. Brisley will dump it in deep. And thrown all the way out to the near side. Melanson in behind the net, harassed by Horner. Melanson to Stewart. This is Jesse Keicher. Back to Stewart, seam pass. Here's Downey at the point. Garrett Downey to Stewart. Stewart. Roberts blocked it off the stick, and the puck sat up nice, and it finds its way into the net. Buffalo scores on the power play again. This one came off the stick of Adam Roberts. See if we can slow it down here. Roberts with the block, and the puck came up and hit square where the crossbar and the post come together, and then sat there and was knocked in by Melanson. So Buffalo back in the lead now, 4-3 with 5.5 minutes to go in the second period. Another power play goal for this Tempest team. Puck in behind. A wrap try wouldn't go for Oaks Cook. Cook Avery, rather. And Stewart able to pump it up forward. Sean Stewart dropped it back, and shot was high, but there's going to be another penalty coming up here on the Raiders as Matt Stewart was dumped in the act of shooting. I didn't see a whole lot there. It looked like Stewart kind of just got hit there as he was letting the shot go. I mean, not an awful lot there. It looked like Gavin Cook Avery, and the only thing. Roughing is the call. Again, it seemed like a pretty solid body check from Cook Avery, but it's a 2-minute penalty for roughing, and now Buffalo, fresh off of taking the lead back on the power play, right back to the extra skater. Jesse Keicher dumps it deep into his own zone for Downey. Trudeau took a tumble. He's got to get back in the play. 4-on-3, 5-on-3, and now Trudeau does get back deep as Melanson plays with it in the corner. Comes up top for Downey. Gets it back to Melanson. Melanson has Stewart. Going to take the shot. It's turned aside and off the chest of Gemmel. Cleared all the way down the ice. 1:18 to go on the power play. Dalton, little unorthodox, gets it out to Stewart on the far side. Sending off the back of his own net. Stewart now through center. Matt Stewart rings it around the backboards. It's held in right at the blue line by Garrett Downey. Downey goes up top to Matt Stewart. Stewart, Downey, across to Keicher on the near wing. Keicher goes down low. Right at the red line is Melanson. Melanson back up top to the point. Keicher's shot kicked away by St. Anne Spinner, and then the second shot from Downey's right off the chest again of Gemmel. Still, Buffalo with the puck. Keicher in the redirect in front. Melanson with a tip, and it's 5-3. Another power play goal for the Buffalo Tempest. We'll take another look at the 5th Buffalo goal as it comes across to Keicher. He kind of fanned on the shot, but it worked out perfectly as it went right to Melanson, who was standing on the red line, and Jason Melanson able to lift it up over the glove of Graham Gemmel. And Gemmel beaten for the 5th time now here with 3:29 to go in the second period. It's 5-3. Another power play goal for Buffalo. Melanson from Keicher. Now the Raiders looking to respond. A centering pass went off the stick of Oaks Cook, and he was unable to direct it on net. Held in, though, at the line. Shot missed high, and it runs all the way up along the dasher and picked up at his own blue line. Puck sent all the way down, iced. And so it's an offensive zone draw for the Tempest. That one batted out of the air, played with a high stick, but Raiders the first ones to play it. Dump back into the corner for Fanner. Brandon Fanner up along the near boards and out through center. Pass too long for Oaks Cook to handle, and he goes tumbling into the offensive end. Good body check laid here right in the neutral zone. And the opposite direction, it was Oaks Cook who had a really nice look at it but lifted it high. Shot again from the point from Oaks Cook. That one's deflected in front. Dalton made the save. Oaks Cook, another shot. That one hit a body in front and never made its way through. And now on the outlet pass, a chance. And Gemmel comes out of his net to play it, preventing any sort of breakaway attempt. This one skips out of the zone. It was a big collision right down here in front of us. Flynn was involved. I'm not sure if he's going to pick up the penalty or not. There was right in front of the Buffalo bench. Boarding is the call. It was directly below our vantage point up here. Apologize, didn't get a good look at it, as I believe it's Flynn who's going to go sit down for a boarding. And Kehoe is who's going to pick up the boarding call. And now another opportunity for the Raiders with the power play after surrendering a couple of power play goals to Buffalo here in the later stages of the second period. Roberts sends it across. Dylan St. Anne Spinner into the zone. Throws it back to the point. O'Mara lets one go. That's off a stick and up into the netting. And actually will make its way out of the playing area. Minute 39 to go in the period. A minute 35 remaining on the penalty. Kehoe for boarding. Puck held in at the point, then swung across. Roberts finds O'Mara, and O'Mara had to settle it down before he could take the shot. Gave Dalton just enough time to get across and make the stop. St. Anne Spinner against Stewart. Stewart lays the body, but O'Mara picks up the puck and drops it now for Dylan St. Anne Spinner. Minute 20 to go in the period. St. Anne Spinner to O'Mara up the left wing. And O'Mara still now out to St. Anne Spinner. Lets a slap shot go. Deflection in front. Steered it wide. And Roberts has it at the far point. Roberts gets it back. St. Anne Spinner had to skip under his stick. Referee back here's got his arm up for a delayed penalty. Gemmel to the bench. 6-on-4 right now. Oaks Cook throws one on. And Dalton got across to make the save. There was a seam there. But it's another penalty against Buffalo. And for the second time here in the second period, Thousand Islands will skate 5-on-3. Able to convert the first time. They had 2 extra men on the ice. That made it 3-2. Able to tie things back up at 3, but have now fallen behind again. 5-3. It's going to be a 5-on-3 here for 39 seconds. There's 43 remaining in the period. So for that last 4 seconds, it'll be 5-on-4. And then assuming something crazy doesn't happen, the Raiders will start the third period with the extra skater. Trudeau wins the face-off to the side. They come out to the point for Ezekiel Endy. Endy out to the right wing. Horner steps in, lets one go. That was sticked aside. Endy picks it up on the far point. Ezekiel Endy steps in. Pass down low for Trudeau. Back across in front of the net. Trudeau with a rebound. Oh, and a great block in front. As Trudeau had an empty net, but Stewart able to get his body in the way and make the stop. Horner across to Endy. Blocker save by Dalton. 12 seconds to go in the period. Horner steps into another one. That one misses wide. Endy picks up the puck. First penalty is over. There's 4 seconds to go in the period. And Horner gets one off, but that's going to do it for the second period. So 1:16 remaining on the power play at the start of the third period for the Raiders. They got it even at 3 goals apiece. And then a couple of power plays turned into goals for the Tempest, and they lead 5-3 here after 40 minutes of play on the TI Raiders YouTube channel. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here to the APHL on the Raiders YouTube channel. The Raiders taking on the Buffalo Tempest, last year's champions. And they've given them a pretty good fight this weekend. 8-6 loss last night, 5-3 here at the end of the second period. And Raiders will be on the power play when we come back at the start of the third period. We'll see you then. Welcome back inside the Cerow Rec Park, where the Thousand Islands Raiders trail the Buffalo Tempest 5-3 after 2 periods of play. It was a 3-0 Buffalo lead after the first. Raiders got it even at 3 goals apiece, and then a couple of goals towards the end of the second period from Buffalo to retake the lead. And we're underway here in the third period. Icing called, but it can't be an icing because the Raiders are on the power play to start the period. Officials seem to have forgotten that. So a face-off to center ice after the errant icing call. He said Raiders on the power play here for the next 50 seconds. Puck into the corner, much there to try to prize it away from Tatu. Now full sprint into the corner, Matt Morja. Morja wrestling for it. Endy in there too, and it squeaks away from Wilkins. Tatu behind the net, tried to clear it, it hit a body in front. Endy comes around, out to the point, Much. Out to Oaks Cook. St. Anne Spinner sent that one on and it deflected up and off the glass behind. Now Morja out to St. Anne Spinner. He goes back to Morja, but the pass was behind him. Trudeau will pick it up behind the net. Jordan Trudeau down low. Penalty is over. Back to 5-on-5. That one's off the outside of the pipe. Pinching in. Much will keep it into the zone as Morja goes off for a change. So Buffalo kills off the penalty. They go the opposite direction. Big save, and then another. Gemmel had to make a second save after the first as he went full stretch to deny Stewart. And the puck set up nicely for Stewart, but another save on the rebound from Gemmel to keep this a 2-point game. That one taken away in the neutral zone by St. Anne Spinner, who got it to Oaks Cook, went right back to St. Anne Spinner, and then he had it taken away from him by Stewart. Keicher tried to go in deep. Puck came back out to him on the far boards. Roberts in behind. That one went through the blue paint and comes out and skips into the neutral zone off the stick of Downey, who just sends one right back in. Glove down by Graham Gemmel, and he'll leave the puck there for Adam Roberts. Horner out to Roberts. Roberts taken to the boards on the far side. That one nearly kept in the zone because right off the stick of Hearn. And the Raiders again looking for that long outlet pass. It was tipped in, but this is still going to be an icing call. No, they wave it off. It was tipped on the Raiders side of the red line, but the icing was waved off. That long pass up ahead for Melanson down the near wing. His pass into the middle, deflected and blocked by Roberts, who settles it down behind his own net. 16:55 to go in the third period. Long pass up ahead, out of the reach of anybody in a black sweater. Melanson, backhand pass, turned it over in the neutral zone. Up the near side, Oaks Cook, Cook Avery to Oaks Cook, and Oaks Cook couldn't quite connect on the one-timer. Sends it out to Horner with a nice saucer pass. Pass to Horner, let him let one go, and it was saved by the chest of Dalton. Puck rattled in behind, and now out to the far side where Oaks Cook is going to control. Colton Oaks Cook again with a saucer to Horton. Horton right off the blocker of Dalton. The puck still loose. It comes out to Horner. Horner couldn't get it across to the far side, and Buffalo able to clear it all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off as it was played by a Raider stick. Oh, taken away in the neutral zone. Here comes Stewart the opposite direction, and then he gave it right back to Oaks Cook. That one stayed in the zone. Flynn able to keep it there. Sends it in deep. And the Raiders will look to recycle and escape the zone. Colton Oaks-Cook behind his own net. Again, spins around and sends the backhand pass up the far boards where it's dumped out into the neutral zone. Stewart nearly taking off the puck. It comes into the corner for Flynn. Flynn and Rice do battle there. And it will escape the zone as McClellan leaves it for Rice. Rice, backhand pass from McClellan was well read and intercepted, and then here comes Stewart the other way. Stewart sends it off the left leg of Gemmel. McClellan trying to skate across the blue line. He's going to get tripped up, and that's going to be a penalty against Matt Stewart. I thought it was 98. He's still out there. It was 28, not 98. So Kevner with a trip. He'll sit down for 2 minutes or less. Endy. St. Anne Spinner had his pass deflected, but Endy able to keep it in the zone. Able to send it out to the near side. Tatu lost the stick. The puck was loose in the blue paint and cleared out. Lifted the length of the ice. Bit of a nervy moment there for Dalton. The puck was behind him. He had a defenseman without a stick for a moment too, as Tatu had lost his, but able to come back and pick it up. Oaks-Cook now down the right wing, gets around Ventura, in behind the net. Oaks-Cook sends it out to the point. St. Anne Spinner to Adam Roberts. Roberts fakes the shot, comes back around on the near board. Roberts across the blue line to St. Anne Spinner, who throws one on, and that was deflected in front by Thompson, got into the corner. And this one will escape the zone. Dylan St. Anne Spinner's got to go back to retrieve it. Raiders trying to catch Buffalo in the middle of a change, and Trudeau will just dump it in behind the net. Cleared out, but kept in. No, skipped under the stick here at the blue line. It's going to roll all the way down on Gemmel, who will leave it for St. Anne Spinner. He's harassed there. And backhands it in behind the net. Here comes Oaks-Cook up the near wing. Had it poked off of his stick. Long stretch pass to Oaks-Cook. Touch. Backhand to Trudeau. Trudeau up the left wing. Across to Roberts. Roberts in front. Oaks-Cook on the redirect, and the stop was made initially by Dalton. Roberts had to go through his legs, and he'll just send it in behind. Trudeau controls behind the net against Wilkins. To Oaks-Cook on the red line. Colton Oaks-Cook skates out to the top of the circle. No, Brandon Cook-Avery into the slot. That's a shot goal. That missed on the blocker side. And this one rattled clear and down the ice. And Kiffner out of the penalty box had a chance, but really nice work defensively to get back and poke that one away by much. Cook-Avery now up the left wing, crosses the blue line. Cook-Avery takes the slash across the legs and loses the puck in behind. Perez. Backhanded to Downey, who plays it behind his own legs and into the far corner. Downey tried to center, and that was deflected by Cook-Avery, who has the puck now. Cook-Avery slammed it off the legs of Melanson. And now the Raiders will clear. Turned over in the neutral zone. Kiffner with a takeaway, and he just sends it right back in. Gemmel out of the net behind the play with 12 minutes to go. Raiders still trail by 2, 5-3 here in the Cerow Rec Park. Much sends one on from a long ways away. A couple of those long shots from the blue line have beat Gianni Dalton tonight, but there's been substantially more traffic in front of him when that's been the case than there was in that particular instance. 11:52 remaining in the third period. Face off one to the side. O'Mara up along the far boards. Theo Colvin dumps it along behind the net to Howlett. Now Stewart, long stretch pass. Trying to find Stewart. Will not connect. Icing waved off, though. Sean Stewart in behind. He lost the puck. It was taken away on the near boards by Addison Oaks Cook. Up along the far boards. Here's Oaks Cook across the blue line. Addison Oaks Cook. Get around Tatu. Oaks Cook looking for somebody to pass to. Rings it around the boards, and O'Mara will collect on that far half wall. O'Mara centering pass, and it went right through the blue paint. Nearly a fourth goal as Dalton was beat. The puck scrambled by him but missed wide. Downey got down the right wing and lifted one up and over the net and lifted it so high that it went up and out of play into the area over there behind the boards. Face off into the neutral zone after Downey's wayward shot. He'll skate in. Downey won it back. This one goes up and into the bench. Puck rung around the near boards. It's going to go all the way down, but icing again. Waved off. So Graham Gemmel out of the net, settles it down for Much. Much up the near boards. Morja had it taken off of his stick by Downey. Downey now in the offensive zone. Spinning, throws the backhand right on net and covered up by Gemmel, the Raiders goaltender. So face off to the left-hand side of Graham Gemmel. Puck along the near boards in the Raiders' end of the ice. It's held in by Jesse Keicher. Along the far boards, Downey knocked down. Shot from the point was deflected by Much and into the corner. Keicher behind the net. Oaks Cook had it taken off of his stick by Jesse Keicher. And now the centering pass for Downey. His shot off a stick and up and out of play behind the Thousand Islands goal into the netting and out of play with 9:39 to go. Face off one straight forward and behind the Raiders net. Thousand Islands trying to escape the zone with .922 to go. Pass for Oaks Cook was taken away, jumped in the opposite direction. Go the Tempest. Puck settled down in the defensive end, but turned over. Player got tripped up for Buffalo. No penalty is coming on the play. But still, Raiders struggling to escape their own zone at the moment with 8:50 to go now. Puck along the near boards. Oaks Cook threw it forward. Slapped right back the opposite direction. Raiders needed to get onside. Now they do. Madison Oaks Cook on the forecheck all by himself. They're still off. Oaks Cook had gotten back onside at least twice there, but Roberts throws it up ahead off the skate of Rice and turned over. And just chipped back down the ice by Buffalo. That one long up ahead, and it's a wayward pass. Turns into an icing call, and that'll send the puck all the way back down to the other end. Face off to the right-hand side of Graham Gemmel. One back. Theo Colvin from the point, deflected, and Gemmel throws the glove on the redirect. Tipped in front by Kiffner. It was a pretty weak shot from Theo Colvin. Didn't connect with it cleanly at the blue line. Kiffner was standing on the doorstep, got a stick on it, but his attempt didn't have much ferocity in it either. Roberts behind the net. Sends it out to the far boards. Now he'll get it back. Pass was actually too far for him to handle, and it's just dumped back in by Kiffner. Hornert behind the net. Out to the near side. And another long stretch pass that's going to result in an icing as Theo Colvin beats Rice down the ice. And the faceoff will again come into the defensive zone for the Raiders. Buffalo doing a really tremendous job here in the third period of just taking the air out of the puck, just settling the game down, really managing it well, and pinning the Raiders into their own end of the ice, forcing a couple of icings now here, and just maintaining possession of the puck. They're really seeing out the game. Loose puck came out in front, took a really funny bounce off the backboards, and could have been dangerous for the Raiders, but they were alert and jumped on it as it was out in front of their own netminder. Another long stretch pass. This is going to be another icing as they're unable to connect. Rice was the intended recipient, but Zach O'Mara threw it off the boards with just enough venom that it was out of the reach of Rice, and yet again, Raiders ice the puck. 7:14 remaining. They trail by 2, 5-3. Puck is loose down in front, and Gemmel was scrambling to try to recover in time. He did just enough, and the puck stays out of the net. Ventura. Moses Ventura up along the near wing. Matt Stewart. His pass up ahead for Sean Stewart. Comes out to Ventura at the blue line. He sends it back across ice. And it is kept in, or kicked into the zone rather. Here's Roberts skating in. Adam Roberts. Oh, big save of the glove by Dalton. Roberts was in all alone, had a good look at it, let a pretty good shot go, but Dalton stood him up and made a good save with the glove. That one heaved in, and funny bounce right in front of Gemmel, who had to be alert and make the stop. Played from behind the net, and the Raiders the opposite direction. 6:22 down the left wing, centering pass, and Dalton again with the stop. Ezekiel Endy down that left wing and played a really nice centering pass across to Matt Morja. Unfortunately, Morja didn't get enough on it to send it past Dalton. Trudeau in behind the net. Out in front is Endy, and he never got a clean look off. Beluga Kinski with the stick lift on Endy to prevent him from really getting a good look at the net there. And that allowed Dalton to do just enough to cover the puck. Faceoff was won, and it escapes the zone. Downey kicks it to Keicher. His shot, just missed on the right side. Rolls up along the dasher, kicked at the red line. and controlled there by Garrett Downey. Downey, 2 goals in the first period for him. Taken to the boards along the near wing. Puck cleared out to center. Wilkins will dump it right back in. Batted down by Fanner. And he comes along the near side. Puck escapes the zone. Raiders trying to skate forward. Endy got tripped up. No whistle, no call. Melanson gets around Fanner. Now Jason Melanson centering pass in. Keicher missed on the redirect. Out to Wilkins at the point. He's closed down by Trudeau, but able to work it up ahead. Keicher's shot off the backboards, and then the rebound came out in front. Gemmel made the save, and a whistle went. Quick whistle. The puck was never covered up, and initially it looked like they weren't going to allow Buffalo to make a line change. Now they will. Full fresh 5 out for him with 5:01 to go in regulation. Kehoe wins the face-off to the side, but controlled by Trudeau. Throws it up ahead. Dumped right back in by the Tempest. Unable to be handled. The puck's loose in front. And eventually it is cleared. This one all the way the length of the ice, and there is the icing call. So face-off down again into the Raiders end. This time it'll be out to the left-hand side of goaltender Graham Gemmel. Right-hand side from our perspective up here. 4:40 to go. Raiders still trailing by 2. Scoreless third period here. After 5 goals in the first 40 minutes of play. Cook Avery trying to change that as he skates in down the right wing. Lost the handle, never got a clean shot. It comes out in front. Big blast from St. Anne Spinner, but that was blocked in front. Much. Oh, right into the face of Theo Colvin. And he has obviously stayed down. That was a clean shot right to the head area. Trainer out of the ice to attend to David Theo Colvin. I mean, Buffalo really selling out on that possession there, doing everything to get in front of the puck. And that one, fluke more than anything. You see Theo Colvin does have that, at the very least, the visor might have spared him at least a touch, but up onto his skates and able to skate off after catching his breath. I mean, that could have been a really scary one for him. A puck up high like that with some serious velocity. Caught him really up the side of the head. And just glad to see that he was able to get right back up and skate off. Offensive zone face-off after the block shot by Theo Colvin. One back by the Raiders and dumped in deep. Oaks Cook up along the backboards against Ventura. His pass deflected but kept in the zone. Tatu knocks it down and then knocks it up forward for Stewart. Stewart to Stewart on the near wing. Sean Stewart to Matt Stewart, but it's settled in behind by the Raiders. St. Anne Spinner throws it across ice. Coming up is Oaks Cook up the near wing. Stewart able to steal it away on the right wing and escapes the zone, relieving some of the pressure with 3:25 to go. Raiders trailing by 2. You have to keep an eye on the other end of the ice as Dalton makes a good glove save. On Gavin Cook Avery. Just saying, we'll have to keep an eye on Graham Gemmel up here, see if he starts to make his way towards the bench. Trailing by 2 with 3:18 to go. He's going to stay out there for this face-off. Phil Colvin is headed off the ice and back into the locker room with just 3 minutes to go after taking that shot right to the head. Face-off one to the side, controlled by Wilkins, and he rattles it up along the near boards. Thrown up ahead. Downey looking for the breakaway, looking for his third. Couldn't corral that long outlet pass, and it's dumped back in deep to the Tempest end. Nervy moment as that one went right in on Dalton. He's able to throw the leather on it, cover it up with 3 minutes to go. And now with 3 minutes to go out of the stoppage, it looks like this is when the Raiders are going to pull Gemmel. It's the 6-man unit out here now, skating 6-on-5. As that one's thrown on net, blocked. Trudeau able to keep it in the zone. Roberts at the blue line. The music's still going here in the arena. Melanson picks up the loose puck, threw it up ahead, was trying to find Downey for the hat trick, but unable to connect. As Cook Avery went down here in a heap on the near side, but Oaks Cook controls. 2:30 to go now. Oaks Cook throws it off the boards, really playing it to himself more than anything. Wilkins pinching in, keeping it in the zone is Endy. Trudeau got a stick on it too, but it comes out to Keicher, and Keicher with a backhand effort, that's going to miss. No icing as he was over the red line. Cook Avery gets it back from Roberts. Raiders with 2 minutes to try to find a couple of goals. They got the extra skater out there, but they can't get the puck. Tipped ahead by Endy. Jesse Keicher in behind his own net, rings it up along the board, settled down by Downey. Downey for the hat trick, and Downey able to sneak past one and walk it into the net to seal the win and seal his hat trick. 6-3 Buffalo with just under 2 minutes to go in the third period. Take another look here, as even with the extra skater, the Raiders just couldn't get any sort of offense set up, and Downey was able to collect that loose puck in the neutral zone, skip past the first defender, and waltz it into the empty net. Centering pass for McClellan, who gets a good shot off. He goes tumbling into the goaltender. Dalton holds on through the contact, and a stop with 1:44. Oaks Cook into the faceoff dot. He wins it to the side. Trudeau at the point. Down low. Centering pass from Addison Oaks Cook. Comes out to the near side. Oaks Cook will tip it along the far boards, and it'll skip out of the zone. Kiffner able to knife it back into the neutral zone. Comes all the way down. Moses Ventura out to the near side. And Kiffner again launches that one in on the goaltender Gemmel. He gloves it, plays it to his defenseman. Skating in the offensive zone was Young. He was taken down, went down in a heap. Puck pinched and kept in the zone by O'Mara. But Young couldn't get the redirect in front. This one's going to go the length of the ice, and it's going to be an icing call with 40 seconds to go. Clock's still running, actually, here. clock ran for quite a while there. Actually, another 13 or 14 seconds longer than it probably needed to. Ultimately, not likely to make a difference with the Raiders trailing by 3 here. That one's going to skip out of the zone. That really should do it. Able to skate in is Fanner. Puck up along the near boards. Fanner tries to center it. It's still loose out there, and Matt Stewart will clear it down the length of the ice. Gemmel will go play it. And now maybe one last rush for Addison Oaks Cook. He skates in across the blue line. Oaks Cook lets a shot go. It's gloved. Gloved pretty theatrically there by Gianni Dalton as he seals his second win of the weekend. Tempest sweep the Raiders here in a 2-game weekend set in Clayton. 8-6 and 6-3 the final scores. And able to just do the little things well in that third period. Saw their lead evaporate in the second. It was 3-3, and they just settled in and continued to play their game. Took advantage when they had the extra skater and have claimed both games of the 2-game weekend set here at the Cerow Rec Park Arena in Clayton, New York. So the Raiders now go on the road for a bit, and we won't see them again until the 10th of January for another 2-game weekend set. The 10th and the 11th will be right here on the TI Raiders YouTube channel. For Cody Wheeler, camera operator, and myself, Connor Lalone, thanks to all of you for watching the Tempest sweep the set 6-3 tonight, the score, with a victory over the Raiders. We'll see you in the new year, January 10th and 11th, and hope that everybody has a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year in January. From Clayton, good night.